thank you all so very much for your continued support and being a part of Career Conversations. Thank you, Miss Micki.
You are so welcome, honey.
Thank you. Okay, so for people not familiar with Career Conversations, I host this at noon on Saturdays. I talk to all these amazing people who've had exciting career journeys. And so today I've got the luxury and privilege of talking to Miss Micki, who is retired actually. And I know that's an unusual topic, but it is a critical part of the career journey. And so, Miss Micki, I want to start off with my first question, if that's okay with you.
You go right ahead.
Okay, so my first question is, what does your family think you do when you tell them you're retired?
Well, they know that since I've retired, I've done a zillion things, but they know that I'm creative. So I do art, I do music, I'm a travel agent. I sculpt. So they know since I've been retired, I've never stopped. I never stopped,
You seriously, you
working.
never stopped. You were doing sculptures, art, travel agent. This is awesome.
Knitting, crocheting, sewing. Yes. Well, see, God has given us a zillion gifts.
Mm-hmm.
And see, we just don't utilize all the gifts. We just don't realize all the gifts. So when I retired, I asked God, I said, listen, every gift that you have given me, reveal to me. I will honor you and I will monetize them. But I
Wow.
wanted to know, I know that I have gifts, and we all know that we have gifts. We just don't know all of them. And I wanted to know as many as he has given me, because you it just can't, you do 50 million things in your life. So it can't be that you only have one or two gifts. If you can brush your teeth and walk and get dressed and put on your makeup and go to work and have children and be a mom and go to school, then if you can do all of those things, there has to be other things a part of you. So because of that, I said, every gift that you've given me, because now that I'm retired and I'm not working my 9 to 5, there has to be 50,000 other things that's within me too. So
Wow. And so, how did these gifts get revealed to you? I'm just curious.
I prayed and I just asked God. It's just the strangest thing. I'll be looking at something, watching something, and I go, oh my God, I think I could do that. Oh, but I'm very confident in myself too. But I'll go, oh my God, I think I could do that. Oh my God, I think, and if my creativity is in my hands. So if my hands love it, then I know my soul and my everything else will love it. But my hands have to love it.
If my
And
hands love it.
if my hands have to have the feeling. And when my hands have the feeling and I know that there's joy in it while I'm doing it, then I know that that's something that I'll be great at. So that's he'll in the strangest way, he'll show it to you. It'll pop up you'll be walking down the street and you'll see something, or somebody will say something to you on the bus, or I'm watching YouTube and I'll see something. But that's how it has always. I was on the train and I saw a woman crocheting, and this was
Huh.
years and years ago. And I said, oh my God, I was just so intrigued because she was speaking Spanish and she was crocheting and she wasn't looking at the work. She was just talking to the lady. And I said, oh my God, I have to learn how to do that. So I said, excuse me, miss, how did you learn that? She goes, oh, in my country, I was like, oh my God. And she says, oh no, get a book. So I got off the train and got a book. And I told
You
her,
got off the train and
I
got a
got
book.
off the train, went to the store and learned how to crochet by looking at the pictures. I'm telling you, by looking at the pictures, because this is years ago, I must have been about 12, 13, and
Wow.
13, 14, something like that. And they had, you look at the book and then they show you the picture, how to hold your hand, how to do it. And that's how I learned. But my focus is, once I get a focus, I have to do whatever that focus is. And I keep going until I get it down with excellence. So I mean, and it's a must. I have tunnel vision and I can't do anything else until I get that right. So
Oh,
that's how.
wow. So you didn't waste any time when you said, "Look, I'm going to honor you with my gifts." You said, "Look, I'm getting off the bus. I'm getting."
I got
I
off the
love
bus.
that. I
I was
wonder.
on the train. I got right off the train and I went to the store. I said, well, where am I? I think I was on 34th Street. And I said, let me let me find out. And I got into the store and I got in the middle I went to the yarn area and I sat down on the floor because I had no idea what to do. And I looked at the books and I was there a long time. And I said, well, okay, now let me get the yarn, let me get the hooks, I was knitting and crocheting and I got all of that stuff. I must have spent about $75. And I'm telling you, on something, I had no idea how to do any of it, but it was just so intriguing. And I said, "Oh my God, I have to learn what she's doing." So I would practice not looking, but you got to look first
Yeah, to
in
master
order to
it.
not look later. But it's wonderful. My hands loved it. So I make all kinds of stuff. I sew, and my mother taught me how to sew, and I made my wedding stuff. She made my wedding stuff. I made my clothes for my sons and clothes for other people. Cook baby
Wow.
cook dresses. I believe, child, please.
Look, you could do it all. It sounds like you got very gifted hands.
But
So
I
what was
think
like the
that's
first thing you crocheted? Do you remember?
very first thing I made was a scarf. And a scarf, a pair of gloves, and I think a hat. And when I learned, when I did the scarf, it was crooked, wasn't, but then I said, well, wait a minute, something, this can't be it. So I took it out because I believe in doing everything in excellence. So I took
Okay.
it out, and then I started all over, and I said, let me really pay attention to what this is. And then I did everything again, and then it came out beautifully. But it was because I paid attention, and I get so excited about doing something that I want to see it come to fruition.
Hmm.
So then it might look crazy. So then I have to take my time and really sew and really knit or crochet. Because the first thing I sewed, I made a dress. I could barely get in the dress. I got in the dress, but I couldn't breathe because I was so excited about the
Oh,
dress that I just wasn't looking at the pattern. I cut the pattern out. Then I wasn't looking at what's the seam allowance. I just said, let me just start sewing. I said, this looks like it's right. So let me just start
he said,
sewing.
let me just go for it.
Yeah, let me just go because once you cut out the pattern, then it's like, well, how big can the seam be? So you make the seam, maybe a quarter of an inch, you make the seam half an inch. I didn't know. I was just looking at the stuff and started sewing. So I sewed and I got in the dress. But first of all, when I put the zipper in, I must have put the zipper in about 50 times. So of course the zipper looked like teeth marks all the way down. And I got in the dress and zipped it up, but I couldn't breathe. I could barely breathe in the dress, but I was in the dress.
You got in it though.
I
Like,
was
look,
in it. My mother
that's
said,
a
well,
huge like moment. Like you said, I'm gonna
baby.
try this, and you went for it. Raina, she commented. She said, "I love doing everything in excellence." You mentioned earlier, like you started something. You said, "Look, this is not up to par. I've taken it out, and I'm starting
Taking
over."
it, and that's what I teach. When I minister music at a couple of churches, and that's what I teach the young women and the young men. Whatever you do with excellence. Whatever it is, you do with excellence. I don't care what it is. I don't care when it is. I don't care how it is. You do it with excellence to the best of your ability. You don't. You don't just. You just don't throw it together. After you really learn, after you really become, proficient in stuff, really, really, then you do it with excellence, whatever you do. So, and when you start off early doing that, then, it follows you through your life. So anything that I do with excellence. I take pride in whatever, and if it's wrong, I'll take it out. I'll find out how to correct it rather than keep going. And when I teach classes on knitting and crocheting, a lot of people get frustrated. Oh, Micki, let me just leave. No, take it out and don't have a mistake in it, so that if you want to sell it, it doesn't look botchy. But people
Mm-hmm.
have a tendency to not care if stuff is botchy, and then you wonder why people don't want to. No, I can't do this. If I have a little tiny mistake, I got to take it out.
They said, "Look, start over." So
Mm-hmm.
how do
Oh,
you?
okay. Go ahead. Everyone is telling me that the link is not opening for them, so I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Let's pause a second then and see if we can figure out what's going on with that for folks.
Okay, because
'Cause
everybody's
I want
texting
to make
me.
sure people can see this.
Okay, let me see. Link
Uh,
doesn't open. Everybody's telling me
oh,
I can't get in. You send me a link, so I don't know.
okay. So I can see the Facebook link. It's live and it's working just fine. Looks like we're on there. And then I'm taking a peek at LinkedIn. It's up.
Okay, well I put
So
only the Facebook, so let me do the LinkedIn too. Golly.
let's see. I want to make sure everybody can enjoy this experience.
All right.
So we're going to pause a second. This is the magic of live shows.
I tell you, baby. I tell you. Let me just tell them that she's pausing to look for a link.
So give me 1 second. And we're going to pause and hit send because I want people to be a part of this. I think that what you have to say is very valuable. I think people don't understand how important it is to do things in excellence. And
Absolutely.
even in retirement, like you said, look, I can monetize these gifts. Like, so these are things.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. That's what that's what God wants us to do. At least I think. How do you find your way in life in terms of everything? How do you find your way in life? What do you do? And you have to figure that out. And it can't be it can't be that you have no idea what to do. I can't do this, I can't do that, blah blah blah. You have to be. There's always a way. There's always a way, and God always introduces you. He will always send somebody to in your path that will allow you to it's right along what you want it to be, right along. So whatever path it is, he will send you a person right in your path that is specific to you. And you're trying to figure out how am I going to meet so and so? How am I going to figure? And he'll send somebody right, I mean, almost under your nose to specific.
I wholeheartedly believe that because I
Right.
feel like a lot of the things that have kind of come my way have been, truly just for me. Like I think back to like, early on, like trying to figure out a career path, being in college and like having like mentors go, look, apply to this internship and don't tell anybody. Like this is for you. And my friend's gonna call you. Like, so I get what you're saying. People just like right under your nose. It's such a blessing. If you get a chance, I emailed and I texted you the link for the Facebook real quick. So if you can
Okay, wait a minute.
pass them along,
Okay, let me look for the email.
those should work just fine.
I hope so.
Um,
Listen. Okay, let me go here again. Let me send this out to people and let's go. Let me paste and let's see if I can copy that. Copy link. I hope they can cut the, they can see the link. Hold on. Now let me send this one.
okay.
Oh Lord, let's see. Let's see. Paste this one. Let's see. Let me send it to my.
So hey. So it looks like we're having a few challenges, but look,
Child, but that's what Jesus does. He lets you have some issues and see how you're gonna figure out stuff. What you're gonna do? Are you gonna freak out? And this is yeah. I don't even mind these things because it's a test for where what are you gonna do when something huge happens? If
that,
something big happens, are you gonna freak out, or can you just calm yourself down and figure out what's the next best step? And that's
it,
why I very rarely do I really freak out and oh my god and blah blah blah. Very rarely. That's just not part of who I am. I just like there always has to be a resolve, and Jesus will give me the resolve and figure out the way. That's not that I don't get bothered by stuff and blah blah blah, but I mean it's just I
one
just
day at a time.
I have to go. Yeah, I have to go with the flow. I don't try to go crazy. And oh my goodness, I know that's just not. It's not part of my thinking. So I don't mind. These little things are just part of life. Come on
Yeah.
now.
So tell me this then. You talk about like this resolve and this thinking process. How did you develop that? Because I imagine it wasn't like a light switch, was it for
I
you?
don't, I don't know. I've never been a person that's been flustered. While I'm talking to you, I'm sending stuff too to people so they can get on. I've never been a person that gets flustered easy. I take things easy breezy. My life is basically easy breezy, and I that's how I take most of the things in life. From a from a teenager, things it's like okay, there's always a resolve. Okay, there's always another way. Okay, I can figure that out. Okay, I just don't. I never had that in me to, everything is you're flustered and I just never had that. So I don't know. I don't know where it comes from.
That's a gift too. Then I mean, I can imagine so many people go, "Well, this doesn't make sense, and it didn't go the way I thought it should." And you just said, "Look, hey, I got it. I got a text. Someone said they could see us on LinkedIn, so that's good. So
Okay.
that part's working. Let's see if we can make sure Facebook is right, and then we should be in good shape."
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, if it's not, listen, we gonna go forward with whatever we going forward with, sister. That's all I can tell you.
Look, but no, this is like for me, it's funny. I started this as a hobby, and for me, it's been a really great lesson in one of my core values about resilience. Like in
Absolutely, absolutely. And what you start as a hobby, you turn into a business. And God has the strangest way of sending you and putting you in a position for you to do a certain thing. But He gives you time as a hobby to kind of get it in your bones to say, well, is this something I can really do? And it gives you time. So because everything that you do is not going to be 1, 2, 3. And if you started as a hobby and you really enjoy it and whatnot, then maybe if you a year into it, then you really realize that, okay, this is something that I can really do. This is something that God has really given me. Let me go forward. But when you don't take the time, invest the time, and you don't take the time to really learn your craft or really learn whatever it is, you have a very difficult time. People want to be in business, they want to do stuff, but they want it to be 1, 2, 3. And that's just not happening. And God is not a 1, 2, 3 God. People may think that's a 1, 2, 3 thing, but He's not a 1, 2, 3 God. He wants you. He gives. The scripture says, "To much is given, much is required." And He's not going to give you a whole lot and think that you're going, not you not do anything, with it, So He wants you to invest that time. He'll make steps, but you got to make steps. It's what the scripture says. Or the song says, you make one step, He'll make two. You got to make 40 steps. You got to make steps. It's not going to, think you're going to make one little baby step and then nothing else. No, that one step is a whole lot of journeys and a whole lot of stuff. And then He goes, okay, I see that person is serious. I see that she or he really, wants to apply themselves. Then he'll bless you. When you're faithful, He blesses you because He wants to see that you're faithful. So it's not like start something on Monday and on Tuesday, if it's not working, then, I can't. No, He wants to see that you're faithful. So when you're faithful and you're committed and you say, this are the things I want to do, that I'm serious about it. Come on, Jesus, come on. Then that's when He shows up and starts doing stuff like you got to jump out the way of the blessings. When I tell you I have to jump out the way of blessings, I got to jump out the way.
She's like, I gotta jump out the way. Look,
I
your
got to jump because they
message
come.
really, really resonated with people. We've got one person. She said, I totally agree. You have to invest your time. Nothing is an overnight success. Besides, success means different things to different people, and so I like that. I mean, success means different things to different people.
It really does. It really does mean different things to different people. I mean, if you can, to a person to a child who's learning how to tie their shoe and finally they learn how to tie their shoe, that's successful. If I complete a domino set and finish it and it looks beautiful, that's success. So whatever you really put your mind to and you really complete it, then that's successful. It's not always monetary. And that's what people always think, that it's monetary. And it's not always monetary. It could be baking a beautiful cake or making a beautiful dish or making up your bed and your bed looks beautiful or finish painting your own house or whatever it is. It's whatever you deem successful and you've done it to the very best of your ability. That's the main thing. Have you done it to the best of your ability? That's the thing. Have you done it with excellence? Don't slap it together and hand it to me. Don't just throw it at me and put it on a plate and didn't wash the fork and didn't wash the knife. Present it to me with excellence. And that's what God wants us to do, to present whatever we do with excellence. And that's why I said I got to jump out the way of the blessings, because and I'm serious. People don't believe me, but I'm telling you, there's so many blessings that come one behind the other that it's just like amazing. So I just got to go, whoop, thank you, Jesus. Up. Here's a blessing. Up. People don't believe me, but I'm telling you, it's very true.
So life after retirement sounds like it's been extremely rich for you with lots of success.
Oh, it really has been wonderful. Really, really, I love it. Had I really known, my sister says she still can't get on, so I don't know what to send this girl. I don't know what to send. I don't know what to send the child, but I have to tell her people are on. So I don't know. Let me just tell her people are on.
Yeah, and when we wrap this up, I can send the link out to the broadcast, and so it'll be up, and people can watch it still. It's not going to disappear.
Okay, all right. Yeah. So for me, I try to do everything with excellence, and I try to be creative and find as many avenues, and different things to do, because it's when you in retirement, you have time. First of all, your time is spent much more wisely. Because by the time when you're working, and there's nothing wrong with working 9 to 5, but had I known retirement was going to be like this, I would have retired earlier. I really would.
Really?
I really would have, because you use your time. Because when you go to work and you get up, you go to work, you're traveling, that's a zillion hours. And you go to work, that's another zillion hours. And then you come back home, that's another zillion hours. When you retire, so you spend a lot of time traveling back and forth just to go to your 8 hours of work. But when you retire, you're cognizant of your time. So now I clock my time, especially when I really first retired. I clock my time, so I have 2 or 3 hours to do this, 2 or 3 hours to do that, 2 or 3 hours to do that. And when you look at those things, you have so much time to do so many things. It's like, oh my God, I want to try this. I want to do that. I want to go here. I want to do. So retirement for me is wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I love it. And I just tell people, don't be afraid of retirement. It's your second win. And I'm writing a book. I've had some chapters in it, but it's called,
wow.
Yes, it's called, see, it's just, Jesus just gives you 50,000 things. Believe me when I tell you. And the book is called Second Win, Start Farting. And farting in, and that's the acronym that I wanted. That's the reaction that I wanted. And farting is an acronym for fear. Everybody's going to have it. So don't even worry about the fear. That's going to come. Trepidation is going to come. The A is anxiousness. When you get that anxious kind of feeling, you can't think about anything else. You go to bed thinking about it. You get up, you go to sleep thinking about it. You get up thinking about it. That's the anxiousness. The R is refusing not to be successful. I don't care how much time you have to put in. I don't care if you got to go to bed at 5 o'clock in the morning. None of that matters. All it matters that you refuse not to be successful. And the T is trust yourself and trust God. But people don't trust themselves and trust God. They'll say I trust God, or they'll turn it over to God and whatnot, but they don't really. You have to really know that God is saying to you, I got you. You got to really know that. And then you got to go forward, and you got to be obedient, because he talks all the time.
I have chills right now, but wow. I do, because I feel like you're talking to me personally at the moment.
Listen, absolutely. I'm telling you.
So minister, artist,
I'm telling you, you have
travel agent,
author.
author.
You have to trust God. See, and I decided to write the book because when people get a certain age, they feel like, oh God, I'm not this, I'm not that. Nobody's gonna pay attention to me. No, I'm not sensual. I can't be sexy. I mean, it's just 50,000 things. I don't look this way. I don't look that way. Once you get a certain age, and then people have a tendency to, in the society, to look at a number, your age, and then go, and then have a sort of negative response about ageism. But
yes,
but you have to, in your own head, realize that there are seasons and there are times for things to happen in your life. And just because you get 50, or just because you turn 60, or doesn't mean that now you're just this void, this empty vacuum. You have wisdom, you have knowledge, you're beautiful, you age beautifully, you do these things beautifully. Everything you do, you're beautiful. So
say that, Miss Micki.
Listen, girl, let me tell you.
Yesterday, I came across a Forbes 50 over 50 list, and it was the inaugural list, and I shared with friends. I said, I've got a lot of young women in my life, and people are like, oh, I'm almost 30, I'm almost 40, and they're like rushing to like these goals and putting all this pressure on themselves. And I was like, look at this list. Like, you can still make life happen. Like, it doesn't have to all be today.
And because in season, well, first of all, I'm 71, and that's right, baby.
What?
Yes, indeed. And
my goodness.
I'm telling you, the people don't even believe me. People
make
me show my ID on the train, and they whisper like, excuse me, miss, you have to be. I said, I know, darling. Here. The lady took a picture of me on the train. She said, can I take a picture of you to show my grandmother? I said, go ahead, But see, people people look at themselves, and they put themselves in a category and in a box, and well, if I don't do this before so and so, and if I don't do that before, and that's not God's timing. God's timing is God's timing. And you don't know what you're equipped to do, and when you're equipped to do, and how you're equipped to do it, until you mature. So some things you may not be ready to do. Some things you may not be ready to put all your time in or dedicate. You may not be ready. Your mind may not be there. But then after a while, it gets there. So now you kind of calm yourself down and you're kind of, okay, I can do this. Okay, now I'm willing to do so and so. Now I'm really willing to sacrifice this time. Now I don't have to really go to the club all the time. You did the club thing, you did the party thing, you blah, 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 blah. Now I can dedicate my time to this. Now I can dedicate more time to this. And then you become serious. And then when you become serious, your mind changes, your mindset changes, your everything changes. And you still have to look at yourself as this vivacious person. And that's how I see myself, as this vivacious person. But you have to brainwash yourself. See, this is the thing. People don't brainwash themselves. I brainwash myself.
She said you have to brainwash yourself.
People don't believe me, but I brainwashed myself from a very early age. You have to brainwash yourself, just like anything else. If you want to learn how to tie your shoe, you brainwash your child. They do it every day. Every day. You want anything you want to do, you have to brainwash yourself. So when you brainwash yourself and you tell yourself something over and over and over and over again, how could you not? After you do it 20 years, how could you not be fabulous? So if you say to yourself, starting today, every day, that you're fabulous, how in 10 years can you not be fabulous? It's impossible.
It's literally impossible. So one of our guests, she said, do you have any tips on how to decide which few things to focus on in a day when you have so many things you want to do? I like this tip about brainwashing yourself, though. This is amazing.
Well, it depends on. I put things in order and in categories. My art is really very important. So I mean, because it's brand new. And I had no idea that I could even do art. So that's like a shock to me. I had no idea. I did my kitchen and my bathroom because we wanted, during the pandemic, you just get crazy and you want to do something. So I said, let's put down some floors. And my husband said, you and Chike have two sons, Chase and Chike. And I said, y'all can put down, the floors. And my husband said, I never put down floors. None of that matters. You get on YouTube, you look, and you put down the floor. I mean, it's just 1, 2, 3. So he goes, well, you're not a contractor. Listen, I know what Jesus could do. That's all I know. That's all I know. So
this unshakable faith. She said, I trust.
That's all I know. So I went on YouTube and I went to do my countertops. So I went on YouTube and I saw the Ligari brothers and Stone Cold countertops. And while I was looking at countertops, I saw them pour countertops. And I went, oh my God, I didn't know that people could create their own countertops at home. So I go on YouTube, I look at a sister, her name is Life with Queenie. And her bathroom, because I said, let me start small, just in case I jack it up, at least, it'd just be a small jack up.
Yeah.
So her bathroom looked exactly like mine. Her countertop looked exactly the same shape, everything. So everything she bought, I bought, and I followed step by step. And I swear my countertop is so beautiful. If you came to my house and saw my countertops, you would think somebody came in and installed my countertops. That's how beautiful they look. So then I did the kitchen. And the kitchen came out so beautiful. I said, well, you know what? I want some artwork in the kitchen and the bathroom to replace what I had. But I know that I wouldn't be able to find what I wanted. So I said, well, let me start painting. So I went on YouTube again and I started looking at abstract artists that, I just put in abstract artists and I started looking at folks until I found people that I liked. And I said, oh, okay, let me try that. And it started coming out so beautiful. I was in a state of shock that it was so beautiful. So I started sending it to family and friend members. And I sent it to one of my friends who was a real estate investor and a broker. And he sent those pictures that I sent him to some of his constituents. And some of his constituents, one constituent was Walmart. And when he sent it to Walmart, Walmart responded and said, we'd love to have some of her artwork in one of our stores when the pandemic is over. Now, of course, I'm in a state of shock, but, that's Jesus. That ain't me. Because when I get ready to paint, I pray and say, come on, Jesus, get in my fingers, get in the paint, give me some colors, do blah, blah, blah. I put on T.D. Jakes, John P. Key, Hezekiah Walker, Donna Lawrence. That's what I put on all the time because I got to have some inspiration, especially T.D. Jakes. So one of my cousins called me. He said, let me just ask you a question. And I said, yeah. He says, do you smoke marijuana? And I said, what did you ask me? Why would you ask me that? He said,
What kind of
because
question is that?
I said, why would you ask me that? He said, because all of the great artists say that they have to get into a headspace before they can paint. I said, well, then my headspace, blame it on T.D. Jakes, Hezekiah Walker, John P. Key, and Donald Lawrence, because that's my drug of choice. I have to have them on. And then I just start. And whatever comes,
Yeah.
whatever colors come, whatever design comes, I have no idea what's going to come. It just
Yeah.
comes. But
Yeah.
that's God.
Miss Micki, I
Mhm.
see some paintings behind you. Are those yours?
Yes, they are. I don't know how much you can see.
Yes. Those are
But
gorgeous.
yes,
Let me see
I
if
don't
we
want
can
to
switch
move my.
cameras and get you focused.
Let me see. Let me move my. I. Oh man, I don't know. Are you seeing? Okay, yeah.
Yes.
So
Oh,
those
those are
are.
pretty.
I'm
I
trying to
like that
see.
blue.
Yes. Yes. So
Okay,
I
so
sold. I'm trying to let you see a lot of stuff. I don't know what you can. I hope you're seeing stuff.
yeah, if you can come down just a little bit. There. Yes, these are pretty. Ooh,
So and it's
that looks like a
amazing
butterfly.
because these are just creativities that just come, out of my brain. I don't know when they're coming. I don't know how they're coming, but they truly come. And I'm gonna show you my dominoes. Let me see. I hope you can
Oh
see
yeah, that's
this.
right. You make so you got dominoes. You make abstract art. You're a
Here's the dominoes.
minister.
I don't know if you can
This
see
is
this.
oh, that's
That's,
pretty.
that's the dominoes, and then this is another color.
Okay,
But
so
it's just I said it's in my hands, and once I saw this young lady doing dominoes, one of the abstract artists, and I said, "Oh my God, how beautiful!" I started doing the dominoes.
wow.
I had, I put it in. What do I want to do first? Mainly, I do my travel, but then, after I book people and do blah blah blah, then I do my dominoes. Every so often I'll get a flash of an expression, and I put the expressions on T-shirts. One of the expressions that I swear, what I'm gonna show you, one of the expressions came to me and said, "Why?" Well, I was on the train talking to someone, and she says, I was talking to someone else, and she heard me, and she says, "I just love listening to you." She says, "How do you do all those things and whatnot?" She said, I said to her, because I said, "It's Jesus juice," and she said,
It's
"Jesus juice."
Jesus juice.
Jesus juice. And she said, "Wow, that is crazy." I said, "Yeah, well, that's the only way I could do stuff, Jesus juice." So I saw her about 2 years later. I didn't recognize her. She recognized me. And she says, "Do you remember who I am?" We were on the train platform. And I said, "Hi, sweetie pie, how are you?" And she says, because we were just crossing one another. And I said, "Hi, sweetie pie, how are you?" And she said, "You remember who I am?" And I said, "No." She said, "Well, I never forgot you because you told me about Jesus juice." So then I made a t-shirt, and my t-shirt said, why do I look so fabulous? And when you turn around the other side, it's because I drink Jesus juice. The ingredients are 1 cup of prayer in the morning, 2 cups of prayer in the afternoon, 5 cups or as much as needed in the evening. So here's the t-shirt. Why? Oh, let me go this way. Why do I look so fabulous? So that's the t-shirt. The other one, oh man, I can't even show you. Hold on. Yeah. But the other one is how come you can't see fabulous? Oh, fabulous.
Yeah.
And the other one is I see Christ in any crisis. Those are the two that I did. I mean, I have a lot of expressions, but those are the two that I made because I like them.
I like this recipe. Lots of prayer.
Baby, lots of prayer. That's all I could tell you. I pray about anything that I embark upon, anything that I start. Before I start it, I always say prayer and say, if it's for me to do, if you have it, in your plan for me to be successful, for me to enjoy, then reveal it to me, then show it to me. Let me know, let me know that it's good for me to do. And he always does.
I
He,
really like that you centered joy as a part of how you decide what a
absolutely.
success looks like. I feel like so many of us are focused on like how far can I get up the ladder, how much money can I make, how big is my house, what does my car look like? But what happens when you don't have joy, but you got all this stuff?
Right. Well, you have to have joy for yourself. You have to be joyous within yourself. And you have to have the joy of Jesus too. I mean, I still feel sorry for people who really don't have Jesus in their life. Some people don't, but I'm sorry for them, because when I tell you, it's such a deliciousness for me. It's just things that happen that I know it's only God. My son and I were coming from a conference, and he had always talked about storage units and shipping containers, and how to put offices and how to turn shipping containers into offices and blah, blah, blah. He's been talking about that for about a good, I guess, a year, 8 months, something like that, about shipping containers. So we're at Starbucks. We were coming from a conference, and I said, "Oh, let's stop at Starbucks and get something," because I had someone giving me a Starbucks gift card. So we said, "Okay." So I said, "Well, which one?" He says, I said, "I want to sit down." He says, "Okay, let's go to the one on 35th Street." We go to the one on 35th Street, and as we walk in, there's a guy who's sitting down, and I hear him say, as I walk past him to go get my coffee, "Well, we'll talk about the shipping containers later." I froze. I backed up. And I said, "Excuse me, when you finish talking on the phone, I want to talk to you about shipping containers." And that's the brother that put my paintings and sent my paintings to his Walmart constituents. From
Wow.
that conversation of shipping containers, and we started talking, and he's into real estate, and so am I. And that's how we started. So God will put people in your path, and it's specific to you. It's not like, well, this is general. Nope, specific to you. So you when I say jump out the way of a blessing, I'm telling you right now, that's a blessing. Because how could I go to 35th Street and see a brother that's sitting down and walk past him at that specific time, and the word shipping container comes out his mouth? Only God. So I'm
Only.
telling you that that's what he does. When you're faithful and you believe and you trust, it's going to come in the strangest way. You're not gonna have a clue, but it comes. Absolutely.
I received that.
Absolutely.
So, you had this amazing career? You got this amazing retirement. What did you want to be when you grew up?
I always wanted to work with people, doing something working with people. First, it was kind of nursing, but once we had to dissect a frog, I don't know, that was it for me. Had to dissect
Dissecting
the
a frog
frog.
was too much.
Yeah, that was like, I don't think I want anything blood, and not that anything is gory and whatnot. That just like, maybe not. Maybe I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
But I knew that I wanted to work with people and do things. In my church, I worked with all of the kids. I was ministering music at my church in the Bronx, Mount Hebron Baptist Church. I had 5 choirs. I had 2 dance ensembles. I'm telling you, when you trust Jesus,
Choirs.
when you trust Jesus, Lord, 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 he just goes crazy.
Man.
I put my dance ensemble. I told them, if you keep dancing the way you dance, not that I'm a fabulous choreographer, but Jesus jumps into my body when it comes time for choreography. I told the girls, if you keep dancing the way you are dancing, we're going to go to McDonald's Gospel Fest. They said, okay. They kept getting better and better and better. I enrolled them in McDonald's Gospel Fest. We became finalists out of
Wow.
40,000 applicants. We were chosen.
Wow.
So I'm telling you, this is what I'm telling people. When you trust God and tell God, I tell God, come on, Jesus, do what you're supposed to do now. You couldn't have put this thought in my head for me not to do anything with it. You couldn't have let me see 9,000 commercials on McDonald's Gospel Fest. Now, I had never paid attention to McDonald's Gospel Fest commercials before, but this particular time was the time. That's why I tell people you have to wait for your time, because God does what's his timing. It's not your timing. I always say, your plan is not my plan. My plan is not your plan. Whatever God says is what I'm doing. So when he said McDonald's Gospel Fest, it's like, really? Oh, okay. All right. So I just went for it, and they looked beautiful, but they were crying because they didn't win. And I said, listen, it's not about winning. It's about, this is what you can put on your resume. And they were there twice. The second time, McDonald's called me and asked me to put the girls back in there. So you can
Wow.
put this on your resume, and you can say that you performed in front of 18,000 people, number one, and
Which is
that you
huge.
did this with excellence. And this is something that you can have for the rest of your life, to know that because you put your best foot forward, you were able to do blah, blah, blah.
Like,
And
this
they could do it
conversation
again.
is so encouraging to me as I think about some of the things that I've been able to do, that it was like, okay, this did not come to fruition. So, great. You had a media sales internship. You interned at, Clear Channel, all these places. And things just simply didn't pan out. Like I graduated and I ended up with a temp job at mortgage. And I was like, well, how did I end up here? But you were just kind of reminding me of like how God's plan is not my plan.
Right. It did pan out, because all the things that you were doing, look at what you're doing now. See, and what you're doing now is a huge thing, huge. And you probably don't even realize how huge it really is. But you're a young woman in a position to expose a zillion people and their platforms and their lives to a trillion people. See, this is the thing. So you're not looking at it as where God has propelled you so that when you find people that are doing blah blah blah, whatever their blah 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 is, their blah 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 might be meant to be on your show so that other people can say, oh my God, she's doing yada yada. Like when you had Raina on, Professional
Yes.
Mariner. Now Raina, from that show and from her expertise, a lot of other doors have opened. So you
Oh,
have
wow.
a platform to open up doors for other people. So it's not God's plan is okay. So she'll do this for a little while and she'll do that, but it's polishing you and honing your skills. So you're getting your verbal skills together, you're getting your communication skills together, you're getting your articulation skills together, you're getting all these skills together, you're getting your personality together. You have a very pleasant personality, very warm. You're getting that together. So all those little things add up so that when God puts you where he puts you, you're ready. You may not think you're ready, but God has you ready. So now when you open up the door for Sally and for Jack and for Keisha and for Ramona and for Taekwon, when you open up those doors, the people are ready for that exposure because God has positioned them to be ready for the exposure. So no, you can't mitigate. In your mind, it might be, well, I don't know. That has your brain has nothing to do with that whatsoever. I'm telling you, once God takes over, your brain has nothing to do with it. It's just now you're just following the course that God has put you on, and you just got to do it with excellence. You go forward because you don't know when you open up the door for somebody what that's going to lead to and where that's going to take them. So they may say, I was on a Unique with Walcott show, and from that, 5 years later, now I'm running my own company and I'm doing blah blah blah, and I've developed a blue, and from
And I
being
don't
on
even
this
think
show.
about it that way. I just have so
Happen.
much fun talking to people.
Right,
Like,
right, right. Actually, I understand, but but I told you your plan is not your plan. It's God's plan. So you may be fun for you, but God is working. God is saying, okay, you need to put Sally on and put blah blah blah, and put so and so on, and you just enjoying yourself, but you're
mhm.
opening up the door for somebody else to become blessed. And when you don't do your portion, when you don't do and follow what God is telling you, somebody else misses their blessing. But when you bless, then they're blessed. And then now they're following the path that God has laid out for them. But because of you, God is laying out a path, and you have to look at it that way. You're a vessel, you're a vehicle for people that God is using to say, okay, get on the show. Now you may be thinking, oh, it's nice. I love to talk to people. No,
I do.
no.
Like this is like a hobby. Like I said a couple weeks ago to myself, I said, okay, I have this idea. Let me just do it this time instead of keep thinking about it and thinking about it. And so I said, okay, my first commitment is I'm going to just do 3 episodes. If I like it still, I'll commit to 10.
Right.
I think I've got 10 scheduled already. We're on like episode 5. I'm like, I don't know. I couldn't imagine not doing this. I'm enjoying it so much. Like,
Absolutely. God's plan. That's right. Then, and you have to think about, why you're doing what you're doing. Nothing that people do in life is just because. There's not a just because. If you really delve into your life, it's not a just because. You have to really realize, okay, why am I doing this? And why is this becoming successful? Why are people tuning in? Why is it you have to look at it like that? Why? What's my purpose? And when you realize this is your purpose, then because you're blessing and blessing other people, your purpose is now you're satisfying your purpose, and now you're helping other people move to another level. Because maybe they would never get the platform. Maybe somebody's really a fabulous blah blah blah. They would never get the platform because it's like, well, how do I get on? How do I do? Now they're on your show, and then now somebody else sees them because you don't know who's tuning into your show. You have no idea who's tuning in.
I don't, but I'm just like, I'm enjoying it. And some of the people that are like messaging me, it's like shocking me. I was like, oh, I was doing this thing.
Right. And that thing, you have to really get another word for thing, because this is, a life. You have to change that to thing, because it's not just your little thing. It's a blessing that blesses other people. It's a platform. It's a stair. It's an escalator to help people. It's an elevator to help people elevate themselves and escalate to another level. And
All right.
that's we have to look at when something falls in your lap like that, when it seems accidental. It's never accidental. It's just that God is propelling you to and just to show you that you can do these things. It's not shocking. It's not, it's not, you could do these things. It's just that put your mind to it, put all your energy, commit to it. And, you'd be
Commit.
surprised when you do things with excellence and you put God in first and say, listen, this is what I want to do. And then he'll open up the door and show you, because he opens up a billion doors.
Yes.
There's a zillion doors. You just got to go through the door. There's a million doors. You ain't got to knock on the door and say, no, he gives you a zillion doors. You can go through a zillion doors if you choose. Or you can go through one. I choose to go through as many doors as I can possibly go through before I'm dead. That's all. I want to go through every door, as many doors. And what can I say? Because every time you go through a new door and you have new life, it's such a breath of fresh air. It is such a
It is.
invigorating, energizing. It is just so, I'm telling you, it is so fantastic. And then you meet so many new people doing so many different things that you didn't even think you could meet, and you're talking to, and they're seeing your stuff and seeing your work. Oh my God, it's just, I can't tell you what a joyous life. I can't even express how delicious it has been thus far. And the art is really just like an eye-opening kind of, and it just encourages other people around you. Other people start doing stuff. Other people want to do things. And I'm an encourager. I'm like, go ahead, just try it. Go ahead, try it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it doesn't come out right the first time. And none of that matters, especially art, because what's right? What's right in art? Who knows? Who knows if something's if it's abstract, then anything goes. If you can go to the museum and see a red dot and a black line, and that sells for $10 million. Come on now, girl, please.
Well,
see
you got a
two
point.
squiggly lines. Come on now.
Yes. So, what did you wish you knew before you embarked on retirement? You said if you'd known it was going to be this good, you would have done it sooner.
Right. The freedom. The free, people, when you hear retirement, you just feel like, first of all, you got to be 1,000 years old to retire. And then, that age is relative, because when you're 20, 50 sounds, old. And when you're 40, the 50 don't sound too old no more.
Now don't.
Now 70 sounds old. And when you get 70, oh, it's like, wait a minute now. Depending on if you kept yourself looking good and whatnot, then you don't feel anxious at all. But if I had known that retirement is your second win, and it's just to propel you into another phase of your life. People don't talk about it like that. They always talk about it sort of depressing retirement. Oh, I'm going to retire. Oh, what am I going to do? And people don't really have a plan, and they don't really think. And, then a lot of people, because they haven't planned anything, they retire and die. So, and I've known a few people that work with me that as soon as they retired, passed away. But if you don't have a plan, and if you don't implement anything ahead of time, it can be daunting. But if you know that there's so much out there's so much traveling to do, there's so many experiences, there's so many people, there's so many new things that you just haven't even thought about. You look up those things. If you want to learn a language, learn a language. If you want to be a belly dancer, be a belly dancer. If you want to learn to me, whatever it is,
I like
learn
this.
it.
Look, people are rocking with you, Miss Micki. Somebody said you need to have Micki on again. I'm totally motivated. Like,
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it is to me. And none of that. You don't know how to make Chinese food. Get a book and learn how to make Chinese food.
You got a good point. One day I was sitting down and said, I really want some teriyaki chicken, but I refused to pay somebody to make it. So I went downstairs, Googled a recipe, and it was hitting.
And baby, listen. And I cook very well. But my thing is that when I get something locked in, I make it a zillion times until like everybody in my household is like, listen, we can't have this. So I started making escovitch fish. Oh my God, I must have made that 50 times. I started making apple pies. I started making key lime pies. I started making coconut pie because I love to cook, and I love to do, I just love to experiment. So I cook, and I know that like, if we have another escovitch fish, I'm going to kill somebody. I know that. So my husband had to say that. And
Not another one.
I started making fish bone earrings because I was in the store and a woman was buying tilapia. I had never heard of tilapia. This is about, I guess, 10 years ago. And she was buying so much tilapia. I said, well, God, are you having a party? So she says, no, we just love tilapia. She bought tilapia and she bought milkfish. And I said, well, let me buy it because I mean, it has to be delicious if you're buying a billion pieces of
Right.
fish. So I bought the tilapia, fried the tilapia. Tilapia was very delicious. But the tilapia bone looks so beautiful to me. I said, oh my God, these would be fabulous earrings. So I took the tilapia bones, I glued them together. I bought a Dremel. I drilled a hole in it. I polished them with fingernail polish, cut off my hair, and had the tilapia bones as my earrings. When I tell you, fabulous, I sold, I don't know, maybe 10 to 12 pairs. I was buying tilapia like crazy. And the first week, I must have sold about 10 to 12 pairs. I must have sold maybe a good 20 pairs, 30 pairs. Then I stopped. But people were going, oh, miss, where did you get? I said, girl, I had to eat tilapia and blah, 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 blah. But I was making me some tilapia earrings. So to me, for me, it doesn't matter. Nothing matters but what you can see for yourself. I don't care what it is. If you can see it for yourself, it can become. That's how I look at life. If you can see yourself doing blah, 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 it can become. So that's how I live my life. It doesn't really matter what anybody thinks, or and your family, and my family is very supportive because I do everything crazy. They're very supportive and very musical and very talented. So if you grow up in a family where your parents allow you to do a lot of stuff and push your creativity and go ahead, go, and then like I said, you got to brainwash your own self. So I brainwash myself to fabulosity. That's how I look. Yeah, that's how I think.
Brainwash to fabulosity.
So I walk down the street, and if I look in the mirror, I go, girl, you are fabulous. Now, if you say that 400 trillion times in your life, how can you not think you're fabulous?
There's no way you could not think.
I'm telling you, because you have brainwashed yourself to think you are fabulous. But see, most people, they go, oh, it's just an ego trip. No, it's confidence. You're building your confidence. But how do you build your confidence? How do you build your confidence with anything and anybody? With your children, you tell them over and over again. You brainwash your kids. Yeah, you're talented. Yeah, you could do that. Yeah, you could play. Yeah, you could do. Yes. You say that 100 billion times. How could your child not think that they're fabulous? I know my sons think they're fabulous. My nieces and nephews have to think that way because that's what I say all the time. You put excellence, do anything that you do with excellence. And that's how I live my life.
I love it. Brainwash yourself into fabulousness.
Into fabulosity.
Fabulosity. All right, I got it.
Brainwash
Fabulosity.
Brainwash. You walk past a window, see yourself, you see a reflection. Girl, you're too fabulous. I'm telling you.
You are beyond fabulous. Like, I have enjoyed our conversation so much.
I love it.
Love it. So what do you enjoy most about being retired and shifting into being a travel agent, a minister, and an artist?
I like the freedom to be able to do anything I want to do when I want to do it. If I want to travel, if I want to go somewhere, if I want to do, except for since the pandemic, I haven't really done anything. But the freedom to do the things the freedom to think of the things you want to do. Because when you're working and whatnot, your brain is all consumed in your life, the things that you're doing at that time. Well, when you retire, you have the freedom to think. And now you can think about 50 zillion things. So if you wanna, become part of an organization, you have time to think and investigate the organization. If you want to start doing whatever, it doesn't really matter when you want to start photography, now you have the time to think about those things and investigate. So the freedom and the time to think and to execute. Now you have the time to execute that. Plus you got, a little money. So you have some money to execute, those things. And so that's what I think I like the most, just the freedom to be able to do what you feel like doing when you feel like doing it. You don't have to ask any questions. You don't have to check the time schedule. Am I going to be off? None of those things. If I feel like picking up and saying, let's go to blah, 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 you can go. I want to do za, za, za. I want to buy za, za, za. You just go ahead. There's no question. There's no asking. There's no anything. You just go.
I love it. So, Miss Micki, if people want to get a hold of your art or find out about being, travel opportunities, you've got Domino's. How do people reach you, Miss Micki?
Well, they call me, or they basically reach me on Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah, Facebook. They can go to my Facebook page, which is Michelle with 1 L, Fields Witherspoon. Or they can, direct message me, or they could call me. That's the main thing. Call me, because I love to talk to people. So, when my phone rings, I never not answer my phone. Matter of fact, when my phone rings, my home phone rings, and somebody calls me, even if it's the wrong number, I'm talking to the wrong number person too. I'm telling you, I talk to the wrong number because my home phone is very similar to a doctor's office. So, and it's off by one number. So people call me all the time. And I tell them, well, no, you're not dialing the correct number. You have to dial 676, not 675. And they go, oh, I'm so sorry, baby. And I said, but if you need a travel agent, I'm a travel agent. And oh, I need to go to Disney, girl. I said, well, listen, call me. We can go to Disney. And I got a client that way. But I love to talk. And a lot of times when a person calls me and it's an accident, sometimes God just tells me, say these things. And when you say these things and somebody goes, oh, you have no idea. I needed that word of prayer. Or, I'm so happy you said that to me. And sometimes I go, are you sure, God, that I'm supposed to be saying this? But I go ahead, because when I'm not obedient, I find it out. When I'm not, when I go, no, I'm not going to do that. No, I'm not, that you always suffer the consequences. So if he says, say so-and-so, I say it. If he said, because I was getting ready to go somewhere and I was making the tissue boxes for my client, because I make tissue boxes. I'll show you one.
Okay, yeah. This art is pretty though.
This is one of the tissue boxes that.
Oh wow, that's nice.
Well, it's in my hands. I told you, anything creative like that's
look.
In my hands. So
it is in your hands for sure. My goodness.
And I was finishing
that's
this
beautiful.
Thank you. I was finishing this on the train. And I was finishing in the house, and I said, well, let me finish the rest on the train before I gave it to my client. And the Spirit says to me, go upstairs and go get your business cards because people are going to ask for them. And I was already outside, and I said, oh my God, no, I don't want to go. I have to go get the other pocketbook. Spirit said again, go upstairs and get your business cards. I said, okay, so I go upstairs. Now I'm running to get the bus. I go upstairs and I get the business cards. I come back and I get on the bus, get on the train. And I take my tissue box out on the train to finish the little details. And a woman goes, oh my God, how beautiful is that? And I said, isn't it beautiful? Is. I said, isn't it beautiful? I said, I love making these. She goes, do you have a business card? I go, okay, Jesus. The man next to her slides down. He goes, listen, I don't want to be nosy, but can I have a business card too? I go, okay, Jesus. Then the other 3 people that are sitting next to them say, if you don't mind, can we have a card too? So that's why I said I'm obedient, because when you don't listen, gotta pay the consequences. So, and I got a client from one of those people and made a tissue box for one of those people. The guy wanted to buy the tissue box while I was sitting there, but I said, I'm taking it too. He said, oh my God, Miss, that is so beautiful. And I said, yeah. He said, can I buy that right now? I want to give a gift for my wife. I said, I can't, because I am.
It's committed already.
It's right. It's for a client, and I'm going there now. He said, well, I need one, so I'll call you. And I said, okay, fine. And every person got a client from. So I know that obedience, I have to be, sometimes, like I said, it's like off. You don't really think. It's like, oh God, I don't even know these people. Should I be saying this? Does somebody want me to pray on the phone? I don't know. But I go right in, and then the person will always say, Miss, you have no idea how much I needed that. I said, well, listen, I'm only obedient, so I learned to, when God wants to use you, that's what we're here for. We're here for God to use us some kind of way. I told you, He's using you, so you can't take it lightly. It's your ministry. It's something that God, and believe me, down the road, you will see somebody will call you and say, Uniqua, you know what? Because of so-and-so, 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 this so-and-so, so-and-so, so-and-so's happened to me. Believe me, somebody will tell you that. And, you take it lightly, but it's not, because we're here for a purpose. And you have to find out what your purpose is and understand your purpose. And once you know your purpose, then you're good to go. But you got to really ask God, what is it? What's my purpose? Really ask him. And he'll tell you. He will show you, the things that you love, the things that you love to do. Love. Like, oh my God, I hear somebody singing like, oh Lord, I know, let me fix that. If you want to be a fixer for that, then that's your area. Oh, I don't, somebody's house may look like a certain way. It's like, oh, child, they need to clean up. No, really. And then your thing is like, I don't mind doing this. Like my cousin, before she loved to wash dishes. That was her ministry, cleaning ministry. She loved that. But when you know that that's something that you love to do, that, oh my God, you find your purpose. You just got to now figure out, now, what do I do with my purpose? How do I work? But everybody has one. Every single side, you just got to find. You got to ask God, what is it? Where are my gifts? What are my gifts? Show them to me. He will show them to you, but you got to ask.
All right, so I'm putting that on my prayer list. I got the ingredients now.
That's right, baby. That's right. One cup of prayer in the morning, 2 in the afternoon, and 5 or as many as you need in the
In the
evening.
evening.
That's right. Pray and ask God. I don't do anything without praying. I don't. Not one thing do I do. Not one thing before I embark upon anything. I pray first. God, if it's for me to, give me the clients, give me the, give me the paint, get it in my, whatever it is, show it to me. And if it's for me to, to be successful, let it be successful,
Let it be.
and he will. Now it would depend, like I said, success is how you deem it. But if you get one client, that's success, because you decided to do something, you decided to create something, and somebody else likes it and they're willing to say, okay, I love that, let me make that for me. That's successful. You could get one client, 2 clients, 3 clients. You get 1, you get 2. You get 2, you get 20. You get 20, you get 50. That's how you have to look at it.
You have blessed me so just in this
I am so
conversation today. I
It's
have
Jesus. It's Jesus.
tried to hold it together. I've almost cried twice.
Come on, come on now. Did you know that's Jesus?
Oh my
That
gosh.
is God. But this is and it's not really about me. This is maybe just to bless you, to let you know and to let you see where God wants to take you. And it's me coming on, it really is not even about anything that I'm doing, but to let you know that you're a blessing. And you have to realize that you're a blessing to continue, so that you can bless who you're supposed to bless, because somebody down the road that you're blessing is really going to blossom and really going to, and you're a springboard. So, and maybe it's just to let you know that you're a springboard. Hey, I don't know. That's now springboard just popped in my head. So that's Jesus telling me you're a springboard for somebody,
Okay.
So,
Which I like seeing people take off, so that's not a bad thing.
There you go, baby.
Like one of my greatest joys, even like professionally so far, has been like having interns. Like I loved having interns, and I would ask them every week, how can I help you be successful? Like that's what gets me excited. It's like, okay, but let's help you find the way. So
Absolutely.
This is good. Miss Micki, I don't want to take up all your time, but I did want to ask one last question. Is there anything that you haven't shared that you would like to share with us?
Child, please. Honey, I could be on your show all day long about a billion things. Well, I have a beautiful family. I'm married to a brother. His name is Danny, and I have 2 sons. We've been married for maybe 34, 35 years. And I have 2 sons. Well, 35, 36 years, something like that. Wow. And 2 sons, Chase and Chikay, and they are just fabulous. They're handsome and they're beautiful, beautiful young men. Chase is the oldest, Chikay is the youngest. They are so beautiful to me that I created a fake magazine and put them on the magazine cover and told Tyler Perry, now if you're looking for somebody handsome, look at these 2 young men.
I love it.
It's just I just enjoy my family. I have 2 sisters and a brother, and I love them to pieces. Portia, Sloan, and Hayes, and we sing together. We have 3 cousins that we sing with. We'll call the gospel cousins whenever we get together and sing. My brother is Hayes, and he's, my God, we're talented, but he has got some stuff. He is way more talented than any of us. That child is like the most talented person in the world. Now that's a person that you need to have on your show. So
okay.
Family is wonderful. I love, just the importance of family, just the importance of sharing and connecting. My mother and father taught us to be a unit, a bond, so tight that they couldn't even separate the bond. So Sundays we would go to my parents' house every Sunday. I'd cook, we'd get together, and then our friends would come over. My son's friends would come over, and that was the house, that was the place. So we always had a place of safety, a place of security, a place for people to come. Thanksgiving is the time that everybody came over to their house, and it was an open house, so anybody could come. And so and I think when you have a strong family unit, then so many other things blossom from that, because you've become fearless. When you're strong and you're together and you work together as a unit, then your children become fearless, because you've allowed them you've given them a safety net that anything that they want to do, they can accomplish, they can do. My job as a parent, my husband's job as a parent, is to support them, whatever they do. If they want to be bungee jumpers, they would have been bungee jumpers. When you tell me you want to do a blah, 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 that's where I go right with you. You want to play saxophone? Next thing you know, you got a saxophone. Next, you want to play drums? Next thing you know, you got drums. Whatever it is, we're supportive to push and to go and to grow. And that's how you have successful children. By finding out the individuality of your children and focus on whatever they're into, and be supportive of them. So yeah, my final words definitely are: family is so very important. I love them. I have nieces and nephews and godkids and whatnot. I can't tell you how many godkids I have. And I push for excellence. I push for love. I push for confidence in yourself. And it doesn't matter what your gifts are. None of that matters if you don't have confidence in yourself. So you must have confidence in what you're doing, and brainwash yourself into fabulosity. That's all I can tell you. Brainwash yourself. Tell your kids, talk to your children, be open and be honest, with your children about everything, so that you're an open book. You can talk to them. They feel comfortable talking to you. And in that way, when they start off small, they may not want to even talk to you that much, but as they grow older, because you've talked, they will share and talk and be comfortable, with you. And that is so important, especially these days when you have bullying and kids committing suicide and blah, blah,
Yes.
blah. Our family, if it's not your parents, within that family, they can come and talk to someone. They can share, and either you read them the riot act, or you agree with them, or I'm very open and very honest and very straight to the point. So when you come to me, you know what you're gonna get when you come to me. So, but if they can't talk to one person, they can talk to another person. If you can't, so that's very important for me, for family. I love when we get together. Love family. I want to have more children, but after 2, it's like, hey, I think that's enough. I can't do that again. But that's why I have so many god kids, because I love being able to mold and to shape and I absolutely thank God for giving me the ability to deal with other people's children, because at the church, people will send their kids, talk to them, to have this to say, and they respect what I have to say, because it's no nonsense. It's straight from the hip, but it's always excellence through God. And they know that I'm tough, but it's always tough. It's always with love. So, when I admonish anybody, it's with love, because I see, and I want to pull out the absolute best in you, the absolute best stuff that you can't even see, that I see. And God has given me the ability to see that this person, they got, So I do it with love, and I want to pull out the excellence to let you know that it's in life. You have to put excellence in front of everything that you do, so that whatever you attempt, you've done it with an excellence. And when you do that, then you don't shortchange yourself. You can say, I did it with excellence to the absolute best of my ability. And how could you not be successful after that? Fabulosity. That's all I can tell you.
Fabulosity. Look, do we have a t-shirt for that too? I'm ordering one.
I told you, it's like, why do I look so fabulous?
Yes.
That's exactly right. So it's a joy. That's all I can say. It's a joy. My life has been an absolute joy. My parents both passed on, but they just gave us so much confidence. I can think I got an extra boost of confidence, and because they pushed us, to do, anything, whatever you want to do, just go ahead, just try it. So that's my thing. Go ahead, try. Why can't you try? Why can't you be a belly dancer? Why not? Why not? Why can't you jump? Why can't you be a bungee jumper? Or why can't you be, a doctor and a lawyer? Why can't you be? Why? There's nothing to say that you can't be. How come you can't be an entrepreneur and a flight attendant and a architect? Why can't you? There's nothing to say that. Our brains are equipped to do that. So why can't you? One of my friends, she's a genius, and she's full of. When I say, her name is Cerny. When I say full of knowledge, oh my God. So if she can, I don't care what question you ask her, she can answer. I'm gonna tell you this little short story. My father, when he was alive, because he just admired her because she was so ingenious, such a genius, and her whole family They're geniuses. And so he wanted to put it to the test. So he opens up the dictionary and he flips to a word. Sonny, uh, what does, whatever the word. She goes, oh, blah, 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 blah. And then he goes, oh, okay, he flips to another word. What does peace mean? And she goes, up, 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 up. And just random. He must have did 10 words. And then he says, well, what does, the word was promulgate, but he said something like promulgate. And she goes, no, the word is promulgate and it means blah, blah, blah. He just closed the dictionary. He goes, forget it. Never mind. So
Wow.
she embodies for me excellence, because whatever she does with excellence. Everything that she does is with excellence, and she's polished. And when you surround yourself with those kinds of folks, that it pushes you. It pushes you to be polished. You want to be in that realm of people where excellence is abound, and everything that you do, every place you turn, people are doing something positive or excellent. Or what else can you do? What else can you do but try to strive to be excellent? So that's why I surround myself with people that are excellent, family members that are excellent, and I want to exude that. Like, look at my aunt. She does this and she does that and she does. So if I do those things, there's no way in the world you can't do those things. No way. I'm giving you an example. And all we need in front of our lives are examples of people. When you see examples of people that are doing different things, come on now. Come on. There's no way in the world you're around them all the time. How can they not rub off on you? So come on.
Yeah. So, Miss Micki, I want to
Yeah.
thank you for being an example
You
of
are so welcome.
fabulosity and retirement.
Yes,
Thank you
baby.
so much for being on my show.
You
I
are
have
so
enjoyed this
welcome.
conversation. If you could hold on for me just a second, I'm going to end the broadcast, and I want to get the contact info for your cousin from you.
Okay, I surely will.